Hello, today I'll show you how I did this. Some people ask me on YouTube this effect. It's not too much complicated, so I'll show you guys how I did this. Let's get started. So always this is always important, the units. I try to always work with this. So I will use a number again, like one of the tutorials. Okay, it's the number 3. Turn this on. Let me see. I tried to match the same size I use in my simulation, so the results will be similar. You can see the height, it's 80 centimeters. Let's do some quick modeling here. Extrude, let's see, maybe 12. It's fine. So let's increase. Let's use this. Okay, Shift J, turn off the brackets. They are annoying. Let's use the subdivide. I don't know, maybe choose one. For topology, I think here I use 2000, maybe 1000 is enough. Let's see. You'll be fast. So we have more. I'm actually can work a little bit better because I want to do 2 things. First, let's grab this and shrink. It's not perfect, but that's okay. Let's bring a little bit the front so it's not flat, but if you want, you can keep it this flat. But I like a little bit of the curve here. And here I'll do the same. I'll select this. I use the push 0.6, just a little bit, so when the fall here will not stay here. You'll always keep it moving. But again, there is no problem. Keep this flat. It's choice. It's the direction you want for your image, your animation, or your model. So it's strange, but let's do something quick. So let's use set flow here, and set flow in the middle again, and reveal the puff round in here. No, I want this one. Okay, let's convert this to editable poly, to smooth, the lining. Okay, let's enter the object. It'll be easy to. It doesn't matter the height, but let's say this is in the ground, so that's okay. Let's save the file. Now we need the emitter. I use type particles to emit the liquid. So let's create type flow. Very simple here. So no, we don't need to. Let's birth. We need a force. And we need the delete operator. So the settings here, you have to try a little bit to match what you want. But in my case, I use -2 here for the gravity. Here I need an icon, so easiest way is position icon and create one. Okay, let's position the icon to cover your object. You can make it bigger to have some drops pass in the front or in the back, but I'm making it tight. Yeah. Okay, the icon's here. Now again, we have to test this, but in my tests, I think for the 3 letters, I have I think 15 or 16 particles for frame, but it's only 1 letter, so I use on 5 for frame. And delete. Yeah, that's why I'm not seeing, but okay. I only need the particles for particle edge, just 1. Okay. I need to turn on. Okay. Now they just appear from one frame and disappear. That's it. That's what I wanted. So, okay, 5 frame, position, gravity. I use this value, but again, you have to try some different values. And in the distance, I think it's something like that. Okay, that's all we need here. Let's save. Now we need the emitter for the Phoenix. I read the type flow, but we need for this to work, we need to enable this, because if we don't, I don't think it will work. So let's see. I keep this in the default values. Let's create a Phoenix liquid scene here. What's the name? Simulator. So let's keep the size of the meter. This will be fast to grow, but let's save some time. And I will use the final values I used, which was 0.25 for this scale and this unit. Will not be will not take longer to render to simulate, so let's keep this. And here, let's see. Okay, but we need to turn this on. Let's give a large amount here for the extra margin, so the liquid will not touch the walls. We don't need Z+, it's up, we don't need up, and we don't need for now this, or I don't need this, but you may need it because from the drops can bounce here, the splash in. So, but for now, in here we don't need it either. Let's just skip, and here we can. So they will die here. It's open for tests. Let's keep this. Will be faster. Okay. Moving on. I know I will need more steps, but not too much. I think only 4 for this. Let's keep the time scale 1. So I know the values I use here, but I'll try to explain faster why I changed some of the values. Oh, I click it. So emitter. Oh no, liquid source. Okay. Let's save the file. And the output, you need to choose a place to save your cache. I'll keep this. For now, I need to export the particle viscosity because we use this later, but okay, let's keep this in this. Let's work piece by piece. So let's simulate. It's not working. It's not working because we need to enable this. So now probably will work. Okay, it's working now. In this case, we really don't want this preview. I already know the density of the particles. I adjust the resolution alright, so let's just show the mesh. Okay. So this is the basic effect, but there are too many drops, to some really small, they are not staying together, so but this is the biggest effect, and they are falling too fast, so let's change some things. This, we don't need the render. Now we need the, let's turn on the white all the way to 1. They will not keep it, stick it here, even with this value, because they're small and they're no viscosity, so it will work. We need a little bit of the stretch in the surface station, and let's raise the particle droplet breakup. So let's make a test here and see. Without this, when they touch the surface, I think it'll be fast here, so let's wait a few seconds. They are not dropping so fast now because of the, it's just a little bit of the surface station and the sticky value. If you want, you can use a little bit of the consumed liquid to, so they'll disappear with time, but I don't think it's necessary, but you can turn this on just a little bit, but for now I'll keep it 0. Okay, so you can see they're keep together a little bit, but a little bit more, but it's too small and break too much. So I increase this to 2.5 and let's simulate again. I will not save the previous because I think the difference will be explicit here, and it's fast. So, but you can run some previews with changing the values. I'm just trying to show you a little fast, but it's really necessary for you to create some previews to see the velocity of the particles dropping, how they are moving here. This is really important, but we can already see there are not too many small droplets. They are stay more together in more larger pools, let's say that. You can already see the difference. You know, I'm moving a frame. I stopped the simulation, so this old simulation is the new, so you can see the difference. I want that result, but in your case, maybe you want something like that, more chaotic. It's depending of what you want. I want something more like that. So it's okay, but okay, let's restart from here. I render just 60 frames, so you can make a preview, and I'll show you. Okay, I originate my other monitor. I just configured TypeFlow preview. Frame is 0 to 60. Let's create a preview. So you can see how is the speed of the simulation. Okay, it's done. Let's see. So it's a little fast. I don't know why it's so fast. Like, I don't know why it's so fast. Something's wrong here. Oh, I know the gravity here. That's why I use this, and that is too much fast. That's why you always need to create some previews, because if I did the first time I make a preview, I already know something is wrong. Because it's hard to know it's too fast. Only seeing here you change the describing the timeline. So you need the previews from start. So you can sometimes lost a lot of time. But let's simulate again. Luckily the simulation is it's fast. It will take some longer time, but I think it's important to show you sometimes this thing happens. So it's important to always run some previews to evaluate your job, your work. But I think now this will be fine. I think this is all it's all I changed here. I don't change the time scale. Yeah. Let's simulate only until the 60. Okay. Okay. I'll simulate again. Create a type preview. And this time will not be that fast. Okay, now it's that's what I want. Okay, this for me that's what I want, but it's still falling too fast, and we have the stick in one. I don't want to mess with more with the surface tension because I think it's nice, and I want to mess with the viscosity. I don't want to mess with the look, and will stuck more if I change that. So what I did, I created a particle tuner, and I change the condition here. I want the distance to my object if less than 1. I think this is the units for the system. I think it's 1 centimeter. But sometimes this value is strange. But we need a little low value. So when I touch here, it will be affected by the tuner. In the case I want, there's no force, but I want the velocity z. It's this axis. So I want to set them to 0. And there is a build-up time for 0.1. So this is in seconds, so it's 1/10 of the 30 seconds, so it will be 3 frames. 3 frames to reach the 0. But this will not stop the particles. Because of the gravity, they will still keep moving. This will not stop them. So they're still moving. And sometimes we don't know if the particle tuner is working. So we are not we are not use the age here, but I always like to turn this on, particle age, because it's an important value when you mess with this, because in one of my tests I use age here, but that's why when I mess with this I always like to already turn this on, because if you don't, some of the effects will not work. But in this case we really don't need it. I'm just saying not to forget that. But we will mess with the viscosity, so we will turn this on. I think this is for the texture, but I will turn on anyway. And the age, let's keep this on. That file will not make that difference. This will increase the size of the file, but not in this case. It will be irrelevant. So here, for it's working, just turn this on and let's simulate it. They have to disappear when they touch the object, so it's working. Sometimes when you want to validate the conditions, just use this. You'll be fast because you will delete the particles and you know it's working. Okay? Moving on. So I know it will work. As you can see there, we cannot say now for the preview, but they are moving slower now. But even with the 0 here, they are not stopping because the gravity is always acting here. They're moving. But the way it was without this is what you want, so you can make the scene as you want, as you please. There's no rules, but they are forming these drops. That's what I wanted. Now the video will be longer because I'm waiting for the simulation, but I think it's fast, so I'm showing the whole process here. I think this is important, so it's fast. If it takes time, I will cut the video, but okay, let's make another preview. Okay, that's the final result. Let's save the file. Okay, and here for rendering, I think I use 5. And here I always try to turn this on and put in 1. The particles will be bigger. No. But again, you can mess with this and make the way you like it. And that's all. The velocity is always on now in the Phoenix, so you'll be rendered with motion blur. And one thing you need to do is the wet mapping. That's an important step, but it's easy. So I will show you guys here. I can put this material here. Just choose plastic. I will change this to a blend material. I'll keep the old. This will be the dry material. This will be the wet. And we need the Phoenix particle texture. We'll pick the Phoenix simulator and we'll choose the wet map. Okay, let's put a dome here. Be a flat light, but for the preview, that's all you needed. Let's see how it's rendering. Okay, but we need to change the other material, the wet material, so I think the wet will be a little brighter, hidden reflection, a little shinier, and you can make it a little darker. Let's exaggerate so you can see the difference, but it's too big here, the size here, so we can, I don't know, 0.4, 0.3, it's because too much liquid already run, so it's, and here you can change the modes. Let's, when it started here, okay, equal will be more sharper. I like to use I think proportional is the default, but you cannot be a little too little here, so you'll be too much, you see the individual particles, so I don't know, maybe 0.4. I think that's okay, a little bit, but that depends what we want. Okay, you can mess here with some of the values, but that's it. And last time, for the J, I use exactly this. For the C, the difference, it's I have this tuner, but for the C, for the other, I duplicate the tuner, pick only the letter C. In this case, we have the number 3, but we can make this individual for each one. So in the case of the other letter, I change this to, so I have this, okay, and I'll make another one. In this one, it's the same configuration here, but I changed this to viscosity, and I set this to 0.1. So when they are close to the other model, they will be 0.1 viscosity, so it will be slower and they will stuck more. I make this to simulate other materials. So let's run the simulation with this other tuner on. So for the letter J in my animation, this is the exactly setup. For the letter C, I use other tuner with the, I use one tuner for the velocity Z and another one for the viscosity 1.1. And for the A, I increase this to, I make one only for the letter A and I change this for the 0.2. So they will stick more and be more dense because of the viscosity will be higher. I will not simulate the 3 letters here. I'm just show you in one. And when you have more letters, you can use. In my case, I just do a bigger typhometer, a big simulator. You can make it individual, or you can make a bigger one. I make a bigger one, so when you touch the other letters, the effect will be different. Okay, it's almost 60, and the typhoon, if you increase the size of the simulator, you probably need to increase the particles per frame. If you have 3 letters, you can make a 15 or more to cover the space between the letters. Okay, it's already, so you can already see they are stuck more, but they are still moving. Let's create another preview. As you can see, they are, because of the viscosity, they are create more volume, stuck more, but they're still moving. So you can create another material, maybe not water, you can create another liquid. But that's it. And see, now it's too strong, the 0.1. It's a really sensitive value, the viscosity, so maybe you can use, instead of 1, you can 0.05 or even less. You change your simulation. Maybe for the first one, you can use a little, but that's up to you. For the render, I just use some plain lights, some lights in the front, in the top, in the side. You need to see put your cameras, and then you adjust the lights. And the material, I use some basic materials from V-Ray, plastic, and with some really nice here with the diffraction lossless, more or less. And for the A, I think I use some sheen to emulate some fabric, but not more than that. Okay, and of course use motion blur for the render, helped a lot. And I think that's it, guys. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope it helped. See you next time.